Well, when we got the news that Marjorie Taylor Greene was going to be put back onto committees, we knew her presence was going to be absurd. And the moments that were going to come out of these hearings and her as a committee member were going to be bonkers, and that indeed has already begun. So during a recent oversight committee hearing where they're trying to dive into where the COVID money went, the relief spending went, she was asking about first, in this first moment, CRT. And watch what she says.
Daro, can you tell me how much COVID cash went to CRT?
CRT?
Critical race theory in education. It's a racist curriculum used to teach children that somehow their white skin is not equal to black skin and other things in education.
Yeah. No, I do not know that, but I do know that there's provisions that the federal funds generally are not used, are supposed to be used for curriculum.
Oh.
That's a state.
Oh, Mr. Dodaro, I have to tell you, in Illinois, they received $5.1 billion at an elementary school there that used it for equity and diversity. So it's being used for these things. Mr. Dodaro.
Something doesn't sound right about that. $5.1 billion, she says, was spent on an equity and diversity program within an elementary school in Illinois. Well, that can't be right. There's not an elementary school in the country that has a total budget of $5.1 billion, much less one program spending that on diversity, equity, and diversity. So I don't know why she feels so comfortable just pulling facts out of the air, out of nothing, to prove a point and to push a narrative that she wants to push. And the goal here is not just to say absurd things as she does so often. It's to convince her followers, regardless of the facts of the situation, to be afraid of this mysterious, suspicious CRT movement that's coming for their children, teaching them that white people are less than black people, as she's alluding to there. Number one, that's not the teachings of CRT. Number two, CRT isn't taught within elementary school because it's an advanced course you would take in a higher learning type format. And so there's so much dishonesty wrapped up in that, but that's the point. Because if you can convince the followers of Marjorie Greene to believe this is going on and believe that their kids are being propagandized, you can further motivate them to support you politically and push the goal of getting really all discussion of racism, of systemic racism, and so many important surrounding topics out of schools. And that is so bad and so dangerous. And they're calling everything that addresses those subjects CRT. And then they label it, throw it away. So that individuals who are coming up into, eventually will be adults who could be responsible for being part of the solution won't have the tools necessary, won't have the insights and information necessary to be a part of that solution to real problems we still absolutely deal with every single day as a country, involving racism, systemic racism, and so many important topics that she does not want to have accurately discussed in schools. It's not teaching that people are not equal because of the color of their skin. We should teach kids that they are equal and people haven't been treated equal and aren't treated equal. And that needs to be addressed and fought against politically. Then her next favorite topic, Drag Queen Story Hour.
Dodaro, can you tell me how much money was given to Drag Queen Story Hour?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Who?
Drag Queen Story Time, where men dress up as women and read confusing books to children.
Yeah. First, I thought you said dry clean. So, I'm sorry. No, I don't know the answer to either one of those two.
We need to look into this, and I urge you to do that. Bradbury Sullivan LGBT Community Center in Pennsylvania received $16,000 for Drag Queen Story Time from COVID Cash. I think this is an issue that needs to be looked into. A lot of this money went to things that it should have never gone to, and I thank you so much, and I yield back the remainder of my time.
Yeah, so again, I don't know where she's getting all these figures from, but it's just an attempt to further fearmonger, further motivate her base into supporting dangerous individuals within our political system. And whatever the obsession of the day is, CRT or Drag Queen Story Hour or the various other things they'll latch on to, it isn't because there's an actual concern there that they want to put forward solutions and whatever, which they should support people's ability to be drag queens or whatever it might be because they're the Freedom Party, right? It's to have a device, a tool to use to scare and fearmonger so that their base supports them when their only real accomplishments often are just making the powerful even more powerful. Why would you support that other than the fact that you've been told that's how you fight against the horrible grooming left that doesn't exist?